Welcome to Astrology Valley, where we uncover the secrets of the universe and bring them straight to you. In this reading, we're going to be exploring the question: will your current relationship last? Congratulations on picking the 10 tarot cards that will answer your love question. That question again is: will your current relationship last? Let me slowly reveal the 10 cards to you and answer your question in detail. We're going to start by flipping each card over one at a time. As I flip over each card, I'll be giving you a full description of that card. Once we have flipped over all the cards, I will tell you what all the cards are saying together, and we'll be able to get the answer to your question: will your current relationship last? Let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to be taking a look at the first card. The first card that we have here is the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups represents an environment of luxury and emotional stability where all available comforts await you. Indulging in all the joys that life has to offer you is signaled by this card, although at times there is a sense of smugness that comes from taking your situation for granted. This card represents comfort, emotional stability, and luxury. And one of the big things that this card kind of talks about is luxury. It talks about success. It talks about things being good. Of course, asking the question, will your relationship last, suggests that you might think that maybe it won't. This card represents you and advises you to make sure that you're in a good relationship, and also make sure that you're not taking the relationship for granted. Let's continue and look at the next card. The next card that we have here is the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands represents action, adventure, and fearlessness. The card represents a person of action. They represent the manifestation of an idea and the passionate pursuit of vision. Because of this passion, or because the passion is highly focused on action, this person can also be brash, impulsive, and unrealistic. Does this sound like you, or does this sound more like your partner? This card does indicate an energy of somebody who likes things to happen, likes things to move forward, and likes taking action. This would be a person that would get potentially bored in a relationship if things aren't kept exciting. Note that this card might represent you, or might represent your partner. Let's take a look at the next card that we have here. And the next card that we have is the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles represents that after hard work, it indicates a time of opulence and luxury, all resulting in a feeling of satisfaction, emotional comfort, and peace. All of this is due to one's intelligence and self-control, and represents an achievement that has lasted over a lifetime or will last over a lifetime. This card represents the fruits of one's labor. It represents independence and reward. And it actually talks about a lot of good things for this relationship, a lot of positive energy. And although this card talks about luxury, this card talks about financial attainment, these cards could equally also represent love, romantic energy, positive energy in relationships. I'm seeing already that, the relationship that you're in has actually been pretty successful in many ways. And in fact, it's talking about more success potentially for the future should the relationship continue. But we haven't yet answered the question, will your current relationship last? We won't know for sure until we've pulled all the cards and see what they say together. Let's go take a look at the next card. The next card that we have here is the Chariot. And the Chariot represents a time of success and victory that is a result of pure willpower and self-control. To achieve and accomplish what you desire, you must take the reins and harness the chaotic forces that surround you. The Chariot represents direction, control, and willpower. Of course, the success of a relationship, whether or not it lasts or not, all depends on who's driving and what the destination is. Getting in that driver's seat and driving that Chariot means a lot for any relationship. Of course, who's driving? Are you driving? Or is your partner driving? Or are you taking turns? A relationship that has good communication, a relationship where both people in the relationship are working together as a team. It's a higher chance of lasting, but we'll see what the rest of the cards say. The next card that we have here, another really positive card. We have the Six of Wands. Let's talk about the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands represents that after a tough battle, the Six of Wands represents a very public celebration of a victory. It is achievement as well as recognition for one's achievement. Now, the interesting part about this card is it talks about a battle. And it talks about after the battle. So do note that just because you may be having some difficulty now in your relationship, just because you may be having doubts about your relationship right now, maybe that's why you asked the question, will your current relationship last? Just because things are bad now doesn't mean they're going to be bad forever. Maybe the bumps along the road are just temporary. Let's take a look at the next card and see what that has to say. The next card that we have is the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands represents the transformation of vision and ambition into planning and progress, starting to move into a way forward. The person in this card beholds the material in which they can make and design or make their dreams and designs come true. This card essentially represents you already having everything that you need in this relationship in order to move the relationship forward in a positive way. This is actually one of the first significant cards that we've pulled that is pushing in favor of this relationship lasting over not lasting. Of course, we still have 4 cards left. This reading can still head into a different direction. But whether or not this relationship lasts or not, you know right now by this card that you have everything that you need already. It's just about choosing how to use the resources of this relationship to make it last. Let's keep going. Let's take a look at the next card that we have here. It's Strength. Strength is a pretty powerful card. I'll be honest with you. Strength represents a great deal of inner understanding that radiates power. Along with this power, there is also compassion. Thus, the relationship between the woman and the lion is not one of force, but the balance between them. This card represents bravery, compassion, focus, and inner strength. Now, we probably all heard about the Beauty and the Beast. Of course, it's a Disney animation. It's also a story, but it talks about 2 people coming together. Despite their differences and obstacles, they succeed. It represents the ultimate strength of opposites attracting. 2 people combining into one force to defeat negative and have a bright future together. Let's take a look at the next card that we have here. Now, once again, the question that we're asking is, will your relationship last? Let's see what the next card has to say. And yeah, not a great card. Be honest with you, not a great card here. We're going to see how this all plays out, though. We just got the Devil card. Let me describe this card for you, okay? I'll read the full description. The Devil card represents the fears, obsessions, and insecurities that hold humanity back from reaching their true potential. 2 souls are enslaved by the beast, a mirror image of the Lover's card. But their bonds are not those that are physical or real. This card represents excess, materialism, and playfulness. Well, the Devil card means more than just that. The Devil card represents the fears and obsessions and insecurities that basically hold a relationship back from moving forward. You can see in this card that, yes, there's the devil, and these 2 people who are in a relationship are actually chained together and chained to the devil. Well, the devil doesn't represent the real devil, okay? It doesn't represent somebody doing bad things or real evil being in your life. I don't think real evil is in your life, but the devil represents your fears. The devil represents your insecurities. The devil represents your worries. And those fears and insecurities and worries being so strong that they take over and they prevent you from taking positive action. They prevent you from making good decisions. They prevent the relationship from moving forward because deep down, you're afraid it will fail. Let's talk about something that's really important here, especially about this reading. That's manifestation. Okay? And manifestation is about envisioning what it is that you want in life. Putting focus on important things and making those things a reality. Now, the human race, we're amazing at manifesting things. We're amazing at taking things that we think about and turning them into real things. This desk that I'm sitting at, this desk was manifested. This desk came from somebody's mind as an idea. That person designed the desk, made blueprints for the desk, in order for somebody else to build this desk out of the materials that it's made from. Somebody had to collect those materials. Manifesting something in your life is more than just concentrating and thinking about it. It's about putting energy into an idea that you've had, but more importantly, concentrating on that idea and trying to bring that idea into reality in any way possible, making it. Okay? Now, in regards to a relationship and making a relationship last, if all you're thinking about is that fear and worry and obsessing, if all you're thinking about is the negative aspects of the relationship, if you're not thinking about the positive things of the relationship, if you're not thinking about how to keep things positive or how to move things forward in a constructive way, you will manifest a bad relationship because you'll be too afraid to communicate. You'll be too afraid to ask for what you want. If your fears, worries, and obsessions take control, if that's what your mind is focused on and thinking about, you won't move. You won't make anything happen. You won't bring positivity into the relationship. The Devil card represents something that you simply don't need. You don't need fear. You don't need to be worried. You don't need to obsess over every little detail about the relationship. You need to be focusing on what it is that you want from the relationship. You need to be focusing on being happy. Now, getting this card in this reading, although we have gotten a lot of positive cards here, especially this one saying you have everything that you need, the Strength card, this is the first card that we have in this reading that actually turns towards the negative. And this card tells me that maybe your relationship has the potential not to last. We've seen both in the cards. We're going to see how this all turns out. We got 2 cards left. Both of those cards are going to be very significant to this reading. Let's go ahead and take a look at our second last card. And our second last card is the Page of Wands. Let's talk about the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands represents you being on the brink of a new creative project or a new vision. There is a spirit of discovery and enthusiasm in all kinds of ideas that you might have about the future. It is the start of a new way of expressing oneself. This card represents exploration, excitement, freedom. More importantly, and did you hear what it said in the description when I read it out? The description said a new vision, enthusiasm, and all kinds of ideas about the future. This card is exactly what I was talking about. Your state of mind, your mindset, what you focus your mind on, will decide whether or not this relationship you're in is going to last or not. If your mind is constantly thinking about negative things, if your fear and worry is telling you that the relationship is going badly and it's going to end, it probably will end. If you believe it will end. Just as the Page of Wands here talks about envisioning all the positive outcomes and the fantastic journey that's on the way for you. if you're thinking about all the positive things that have still yet to happen, if you're thinking about all the positive things that are still out there to achieve, and that wonderful road and that adventure that's still ahead for the both of you, the relationship will last. But we're not doing this reading to find out that it's really about your state of mind that decides the future of this relationship. We want to know what the answer is, whether or not it actually will last. Are you ready? Because we're going to be doing this last card. This is the last card for this reading. Once I flip this card, we'll be seeing what all the cards say together. And I'll be giving you the ultimate answer to the question of will your current relationship last? This card is significant. Let's see what it is. All right. And this card is the Seven of Cups. Let's take a look what the Seven of Cups has to say here. And you're going to love it, okay? Because it's kind of what I've been talking about. The Seven of Cups represents a range of choices presented to you. Some in which promise power, riches, victory, and love. Others that instead present you with disaster. Danger lurks within the choices, and wishful thinking and fantasy can lead one into trouble. This card represents choices, it represents fantasy, and it represents illusion. Illusion! Now, we were just talking about decisions and making those important decisions. We were talking about manifesting. If you're thinking positively, you're going to make positive choices and decisions. If you're thinking negatively, you're going to make negative choices and decisions. What's going to decide whether or not your relationship is going to last is going to be your state of mind. How negative or positive you are about the future of the relationship. But before I talk more about choice, which is what the last card is all about, which means that's what I'm going to be talking about at the end of this video. Let's answer the question based on the energy of the cards that we have here. And the way we're going to go about this is by comparing positive cards to negative cards, but first I'm going to tell you what the cards are kind of saying together. The Eight of Cups represents success. But it also represents you taking that success in the relationship for granted. When things are going really well in a relationship, especially if they go well on a regular basis, sometimes those positive things in a relationship become like white noise. You don't notice that they're positive because they're always positive. Oftentimes, people can't truly respect a good relationship until they've had a terrible one with no respect, a train wreck relationship, which leads us to truly appreciate the good things. But as I see your current relationship, there's a lot of good things happening. In fact, we also have the Nine of Pentacles, which represents achievement. Okay. We have the Knight of Wands, which represents the attainment of knowledge. It represents things moving forward in a pretty positive way. It talks about kind of good decisions that have been made and excitement about the future. We also have the Chariot, which represents choosing a direction and moving in that direction. Of course, the results of that being successful with the Six of Wands. We have the Two of Wands, which basically talks about you having everything that you need already in this relationship for it to move forward in a good way. And the relationship also has strength. Beauty and the Beast. Power and love combined make strength. Okay? We have a negative card, which represents the devil, and this is the thing that's working against your relationship, and this is the thing that's really making you doubt. Probably the reason why you've selected this question. Will your current relationship last? It's those fears and worries. Note that these fears and worries will hold you back. These fears and worries will actually cause problems in the relationship. It's fears and worries that causes things like jealousy or, thinking that your partner may be lying or any number of uncomfortable and negative bumps in the road. Also note that this is the only truly negative card that we've pulled in this reading. Every other card talks about success, moving forward, good things happening, having everything that you need, and strength. The Page of Wands talks about things moving forward in a very positive way and there being more left to this journey. But it's these fears and worries and doubts that need to be worked on. Because if you're filled with doubts, if you're filled with worries, it's like having your own villain built into yourself, somebody who fights to try to take you down. And you don't really want that. Of course, going back to the last card, we have the Seven of Cups. And I'm going to talk about this in a moment. But based on what the cards are right now, based on what I'm seeing at the moment, I do feel that your current relationship will last. But there's going to be obstacles. There's going to be things that you're going to have to talk through with your partner. There's going to be situations that will need to be resolved. You will have fears and worries about the relationship that you'll have to overcome, your partner as well. And to know to not let these fears and worries control you and control this relationship. So once again, to answer this question, will your current relationship last? Yes. But know along the way, there's going to be a variety of important decisions and choices that will need to be made to keep things going. It's not like I tell you, yes, the relationship is going to last and that's all you need for the relationship to last. You need to put in constant work. You need to stay positive. You need to believe. And you need to overcome the bumps in the road and the obstacles that may present themselves. And more importantly, you need to continue to make those good choices to lead your life forward into success, to further happiness. Don't let those negative fears and worries motivate you to make a bad decision, motivate you to act the wrong way. Know that the partner that you're with right now is a good one. Know that the cards were very positive about the current relationship that you're in lasting. And know that no relationship is perfect. You still have work to be done. There's still a lot ahead. And note that communication is one of the most important things to a relationship to keep things moving slowly, as well as working together as a team. Don't let fear and worry get in the way of this relationship. Don't let your doubt convince you that something is going wrong. Don't let your insecurities make you think that something bad is happening when it's not. The relationship is good. Keep the communication good, and you will have a relationship that lasts. that is it for this reading. And on behalf of Astrology Valley, thank you so much.